My name is Stewart Mitchell. I'm an activist and an author. I'm also a poet and organizer with Voice for Change. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. And I got into activism a little over 4 years ago because I went vegan in 2011. And I realized then that it wasn't enough for me to just be vegan, that I had to also advocate for animals as well.
Continue watching Stewart Mitchell, Vegan, Love for All Sentient Beings, Part 1 of 2, to see more.
Yeje, delightful viewers, I just said hello in Comorian, one of the official languages of Comoros. Amnadifa, the charming Comoran, wish your lives be blessed with love and happiness. Welcome to part 1 of Stewart Mitchell Vegan, Love for All Sentient Beings. Stewart Mitchell, a writer and poet, has written 2 books, Kayla the Vegan and Liberation Summer. Kayla the Vegan was featured on PETA's webpage for must-read compassionate books.
My name is Stewart Mitchell. I'm an activist and an author. I'm also a poet and organizer with Voice for Change. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. And I got into activism a little over 4 years ago because I went vegan in 2011. And I realized then that it wasn't enough for me to just be vegan, that I had to also advocate for animals as well, because there's still a lot of people that don't understand what happens to animals before they become food, before they become a fabric.
Mr. Mitchell shares with us how he became a vegan.
I went vegan in 2011, around late March. I saw the videos of factory farming and I knew I didn't want to contribute to what was happening to animals anymore. So I decided right then and there to go vegan and change my lifestyle and eat better and not contribute to animals being harmed for my palate anymore.
With heartfelt compassion, wishing to help free animals from suffering, Mr. Mitchell threw himself into animal advocacy. He thrives to inform others about animals' welfare by educating people on how animals are being treated in today's world and on the actions that can help animals.
I knew that just me being vegan wasn't enough, that animals need all the advocacy they can get. And I wanted to teach people about where their food comes from, about factory farming and how animals endure lifelong suffering for our choices of food and fashion and entertainment. I wanted people to stop contributing to the animal suffering, so I decided to be a voice for the animals.
Mr. Mitchell believes that the innate loving nature of humans should be cultivated and developed at a young age, which motivated him to become a writer of children's books. He hopes that Kayla the Vegan can guide children to become true friends of animals. Before Mr. Mitchell explains why he wrote the book, let us take a moment to enjoy the beautiful scenery that nature provides for us. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. The man who considers all creatures on earth as his own self, he attains the immortal being. The true God is ever with him. Saint Kabir, vegetarian. Welcome back, endearing viewers, to our show entitled Stewart Mitchell Vegan, Love for All Sentient Beings, Part 1 of 2.
The reason I wrote Kayla the Vegan was because I wanted children especially to understand how important it is to have compassion for animals, because children's minds are like sponges and they absorb everything that we do. They emulate us to a degree. They look at us for guidance. They look to us as the examples. I mean, most kids grow up, they love their pets, but I want them to understand that all animals are deserving of the same love and attention as well. So I wrote the book to teach kids to have that compassion for animals. Not just cats and dogs, but all animals are worthy of our love and our protection. Kayla the Vegan is basically a story of a young girl that moves from Brooklyn to Atlanta with her family, and she enrolls in a new school. And during the lunch break, the kids are talking about what they're going to eat for lunch. And Kayla expresses that she doesn't eat meat or animals once she's asked by the other students what's her favorite meal. She tells them that she's vegan, and the kids are kind of taken aback by it. They don't understand what that means or what it entails. So she explains to them she loves animals. She doesn't want to harm them. She doesn't want to eat them. And the kids ridicule her. They make fun of her because they don't understand what it means to be a vegan or why she cares so much about animals.
Kayla's classmates soon opened their hearts to hear what Kayla had to share. Kayla explained that farm animals are no different from our beloved pets and therefore are entitled to the same love and respect. Kayla also showed her friends that they don't lose anything by going vegan. It is truly beneficial because a lot of the delicious snacks and foods they enjoy come in plant-based versions. Mr. Mitchell's other book, Liberation Summer, is based on his personal experience. The story describes the awakening of a young man named Jaden Young at the time he had been working at a restaurant during his college days. At first, he noticed that many chickens' meats were delivered to the restaurant, so he became curious about where they came from. After some research, Jaden found out that the chickens came from a factory farm and lived a horrible life there. They were forcibly bred in dreadful conditions, then slaughtered for humans to eat. Once awakened by this shocking truth, Jaden realized that he wanted no part of this cruelty to animals. Furthermore, he began engaging in animal rights activism to help others learn the truth.
Jaden turned around from the sink and looked Felipe in his eyes. Everything about this is wrong. It's a shame that you can't see it because you're blinded by the promise of getting promoted, he said. We're helping people destroy their health with this food. I can't do this anymore. Your promotion to manager is going to come at the cost of poisoning your own community.
What is the true message Mr. Mitchell wishes to convey to readers?
I want people to understand that you have the power to make a change in your community, that once you see that there's something wrong, whether it's health, economics, or whatever it is, you have the power to change that. Like, don't be discouraged by this idea that you're only one person. It only takes one person to make a change. And that's the message I'm trying to convey with Liberation Summer. Is Jaden was one person from his community in Brooklyn, and he decided to make a change. And ultimately he did. I'm not going to give away the end of the book, but Jaden made a change for his community and for the animals.
What Mr. Mitchell said is so true. Change begins from one person. Jaden has certainly proved that by his example. In part 1 of this show, Mr. Stewart Mitchell shared his background with us and introduced his two books, Kayla the Vegan and Liberation Summer. This week, we would like to delve into more of his efforts for the animals. Here is what Mr. Mitchell had to say about his creative activities.
I'm a creative person, so I like to express myself creatively. I like to write books. I like to write poetry. I just recently started an organization called Voice for Change, which you can see on the t-shirt. And Voice for Change is an idea and a concept that I came up with about a year ago, and I decided to actually act on it. And what Voice for Change does is we advocate for animals, but we do it through spoken word, poetry, song, and dance.
What an innovative idea to reach people's heart through art. Art can indeed foster the great and noble qualities dormant in every being.
I work with a great group of people, poets, singers that contribute to what I'm doing to make Voice for Change. So it's just basically a new form of activism, a new form of outreach, and a new form of trying to get people to go vegan and to see the errors in their ways in regards to what they do to animals and do something about it and make the world a better place, not just for us, but for all living beings. And that includes all sentient life, all of the animals that we send to slaughter, that we wear for fashion, that we use for entertainment. So Voice for Change is trying to change the dynamic of how people treat animals through performing arts and activism.
Mr. Mitchell recites his poem, Sandwich and Shoes.
All around the world, animals have the blues because you sacrifice their bodies for sandwiches and shoes. Normalize violence that never makes the news. Animals consumerized for whatever you choose. You wear cow skins and eat strips of bacon, but nobody mourns the life that is taken. Animals tortured for burgers and snakeskin get no second thoughts or consideration. Killed out of convenience, yet you don't think twice about the animals that make the sacrifice for your luxury handbags expensive in price, all to advance your quality of life. Your wallet and belt once had a face, now worn by humans in utter disgrace. Imagine being stuffed in hutches and crates and only admired for fashion and taste. Animals captive in circuits and zoos, subjected to loneliness and often abused. Kittens on Instagram gets millions of views while cattle and hens become sandwiches and shoes. You say you love animals but rob them of milk. You torture small insects and turn them to silk. You willingly pay to have young mammals killed with no remorse for the victims or feelings of guilt. You admire cute puppies and kittens that purr, but wear coats made from feathers and fur. Your fried food consists of fried portions of bird, and your silence ensures that this violence occurs. But if you really love animals, I've got some good news. There's plant-based alternatives to whatever you choose. Just make the connection, you have nothing to lose. There's much more to animals than sandwiches and shoes.
Bravo! What a vivid expression of the current state of our relationship with animals. May this poem awaken the conscience of many, so that people will stop animal sacrifices and bloodshed. Let us take a moment to thank God for all the blessings we received. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Vegan, cause we have to do it as a duty. Welcome back, charming viewers, to our show entitled Stewart Mitchell Vegan, Love for All Sentient Beings, Part 2 of 2. Mr. Mitchell also advocates for human rights and animal rights on his social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram. Let's enjoy another poem he read in 2019 while attending the National Animal Rights Day in New York City, USA, entitled it does a body good.
It does a body good. That's the lie that they told. Drink milk for big muscles and healthy, strong bones. Drink milk for calcium and vitamin D. That's what these commercials will have you believe. But milk for us does more damage than help, yet this is a product that they want to sell because it does a body good. Keep believing the lie. The more milk you buy, the more cows have to die. Milk does nobody good. Not her body, not your body, or mine.
It's very true that we are told that milk helps make our bones grow stronger, when in reality, milk deprives our bones of calcium. Furthermore, research indicates that consuming milk comes with negative side effects such as higher level of cholesterol from saturated fats, allergic reactions due to lactose intolerance, weight gain, acne, and antibiotic resistance from all those antibiotics that the cows have been pumped with. In 2015, a WHO or World Health Organization report stated that processed meat is carcinogenic. A meta-study was conducted by 22 scientists across 10 countries, evaluating over 800 studies. The study concluded that processed meat consumption led to stomach cancer, and red meat consumption is linked to pancreatic and prostate cancer. Several evidence-based research speak of the harmful effect of meat and milk. We hope people will change their diet choices when they see just how harmful meat and milk are to their health. Mr. Mitchell tells us about his plans for the future.
My plans for the future is to become more active, to be a better advocate, to learn more, to grow as an activist, and to spread the message of veganism, to spread the message of compassion so that more people will go vegan, more people will get involved in fighting for the rights of animals, and more people will want to learn to love, appreciate, and respect animals and do everything in their power to protect them, as opposed to using them as commodities, as opposed to eating them, wearing them, using them for lab testing and things of that nature.
We sincerely wish you success in all your future and noble plans, Mr. Mitchell, because we are looking in the same direction, a vegan world, which will soon bring peace, justice, and love. Mr. Mitchell, what do you wish for our world?
A very compassionate place where people aren't judged by the color of their skin, their ethnicity, their nationality, that we treat animals with respect and protect them, and just overall love and compassion. I think that we would have a better world if more people had compassion for what other people are going through and dealing with, and try to get a better understanding of who we are and appreciate our uniqueness. We're all different. And I think that's the beautiful thing about life, is that we're not all the same, and that we're very unique, and we can learn from each other and learn to respect each other's beliefs without harming other beings, and not judge each other based on where we're from or who we are, but actually embrace each other because of that, and learn from each other and defend each other. That's the world I want to see.
This year, in 2021, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, presented the annual Nancy Alexander Activist Award to Stewart Mitchell, the vigilante vegan, honoring him as one of the most dedicated and reliable animal activists in New York City, USA, an author and educator who grabs every chance he gets for animals' rights and their well-being.
Be vegan and make peace.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart Mitchell, for your noble endeavors. May God bless and protect you always and answer your prayers for a peaceful world filled with kindness and respect for one another. Spectacular viewers, we hope you've enjoyed Stewart Mitchell, Vegan, Love for All Sentient Beings, Part 2 of 2 today. Up next is The Spiritual Alphabet, Part 3 of 7, on Between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May all humanity become vegan soon for a peaceful world. All meats eaten by living beings are of their own relatives. Lankavatara Sutra, Buddhism.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/VE.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/VE.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/VE.
Chương trình của chúng tôi cung ứng nhiều ngôn ngữ. Xin xem suprememastertv.com/schedule và suprememastertv.com/VE.